Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. Let's start off with something really cool. I remember when I started this channel, I told myself it would be really cool to hit 100 subscribers within the first year, within the first 12 months. Well, we actually hit it middle of October, so with over 2 months to spare. So I just want to start off this video by saying a huge thank you to everyone who watches the videos, everyone who's just subscribed, everyone watches the shorts. Yeah, thank you so much. I really didn't expect to hit 100 subscribers this early on in the year, but we're here now, so thank you so much. The next goal is going to be 250. Can we hit 250 subs by the end of 2026? But that was probably my biggest professional goal for this year, was to hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. So to have hit it this early on it's really gratifying, because I don't think people realize just how much work YouTube can be. So yeah, I mean, it's just nice to know that it's being slowly picked up, and people seem to be watching the content, coming back to watch more of it. So yeah, really appreciate you watching. In today's video, I wanted to cover something that I think is going to be quite a hot topic. You're probably going to see it come up quite a lot on YouTube in the next couple months, but I think I'm going to have a really interesting take on this because I want to base it a lot on my own personal experiences. If you didn't know, I didn't always look in shape. In fact, I'll put some picture on the screen of what I used to look like. So I wanted to cover the topic of how to turn your life around in 2026. I really wanted to do this because I feel like my own experience of doing this, it's something I feel like I did for myself a few years ago. I was someone who was overweight, not in shape, didn't really have a lot going for me, but thankfully we made it through to the other side. And I wanted to make this video because I just feel like there might well be someone out there watching this who is stuck in a position that I was once in. So I want to explain exactly what I did in order to get out of that. And to be honest, when I think about the main reason to start this channel, it's because I wanted to hopefully inspire someone out there with my story, if they are stuck where I once was, so that hopefully they can make a positive change in their life as well. I did have a really long think about how I was going to structure this video, and I've boiled it down to 4 main things. So you've got plenty of time to reflect on these 4 things and come up with a plan in order to attack next year. But remember that New Year is now less than 2 months away. You've got to make sure that you act now. Let's go ahead and get stuck into point 1, which is have a plan. Straight away, I really want to emphasize the magnitude of what we're trying to achieve here. We are trying to turn your life around. You cannot do something of that magnitude without having some semblance of a plan. You need to be running to a schedule. You need to be looking after your timekeeping. You need a base level of organization. You need to introduce routine and structure into your life. Without these things, the remaining points that we talk about through this video don't even matter. The reason this is so important is because if we're going to turn your life around, fundamentally, something about it needs to change. Probably more than one thing about it needs to change, actually. Because if you don't do anything different with your life, let's be honest, what realistically is going to change? You need to be doing things differently. And if you want to shake that feeling of being lost and aimless and not really having anything to aim for and not really feeling like your life has any meaning, then you need to introduce purpose and meaning. It's plain and simple. So things like running to a schedule, make sure that you actually have actionable points that you have something to do during the day. Some actions whereby if you were to achieve those things, that would define it as a great day if you were to do those things. Routine and structure, introduce things that are non-negotiables throughout your day that make you feel good, things that you can look forward to. And if you can do this even to like a basic level, you'd be surprised at the effect that it has on you. You will just by default feel more productive, and you'll feel a sense of achievement in what you've done. You'll sleep a lot better knowing that you actually achieved something with your day, and the sense of gratification and pride within yourself for making something happen, it can't be understated. Number 2 is quite a big one, but I want to try and keep this as concise as possible. It is to quite simply look after yourself. For me personally, on my journey, I think this is probably the biggest one, because when I think back to the way I treated myself in so many ways, I'm just like, what on earth was I doing? Like, I know it sounds like a weird example, but like, imagine you had a little dog, or you had a child, like, and you wanted them to grow up happy, healthy, and just so that they could have the best life imaginable. If you wanted that for them, would you treat them like garbage? Would you speak about them horribly? The answer is no, of course you wouldn't. So why on earth would you do that to yourself? Looking after yourself can look like so many different things, and I want to tell you about the things that probably had the biggest impact on me. I know it sounds really strange to say, but even introducing a skincare routine, having that respect for my appearance and spending 5 to 10 minutes on it each morning and each night has helped me just feel so much more confident with what I see in the mirror. It's a symbol of respect that I have for myself, that I know that I want to make sure that I put my best foot forward. I want to make sure that I look and feel my best when I leave the door. And something as simple as introducing a skincare routine really was big for me. Of course, you don't need me to explain how big the benefits are of going to the gym and looking after yourself physically. Let's be honest, I can make an entire video on those things. The physical benefits are amazing. There's no denying that. Watching yourself week by week lose weight, gain muscle, gain definition that you've never seen before, gain a bit more of a jawline, get some shape to your face. All of it will help you just look in the mirror and be so proud of what you've achieved. But it's not just what you see in the mirror, it's everything that's up there that's associated with going to the gym and looking after yourself physically as well. The gratification of knowing that you really did achieve something that improved you in so many ways. The pride that you have for being consistent and progressive in a plan. I just did not realize how transformative actually getting in shape and like looking after myself in that way would be for my life. It has been just the most life-changing thing for me, and I could sit here all day and spiel to you about how that's the case, and it could be the case for you. But I want to be real with you guys. I could sit here and just explain to you for so long about how these benefits will be so transformative for your life, but if you don't take action on them, you're never going to experience them. And to me, that's just, honestly, it's a massive shame. I want that for you so badly. I want you to experience what I've experienced, because I just can't even tell you how much better life is since I did this for myself. I'm talking every single area of life. And I know that there are so many of you watching this who have probably said to yourself that you're going to get in shape this time around. You're going to do it for yourself. Maybe you've been following people on social media or the internet who really inspire you, but the time is now for you to actually take some action and make it happen for you. So please look after yourself. The journey of turning your life around is not going to be easy. So you need to be your own biggest cheerleader. You need to have your own back, because that is going to have such a big impact on this journey. Number 3 is to have something to work towards. Have a vision, have a longer term goal. Now that could be tied to point number 2, and it could be some kind of, some kind of physical achievement. Maybe you want to lose X amount of weight. Maybe it can be something career-based. Maybe there's a promotion that you've been eyeing up. Maybe you're single and you want to get in the dating scene. But whatever it is, make sure that you have something in the distance that you can look at and think, okay, I'm going to take action every single day, small steps in order to achieve that right there. And I just want to say as well, if you do a good job of points 1 and 2, number 3 will come very easily and very naturally to you. If you have a plan, if you have structures and routines in your life, and if you're looking after yourself, you're going to find it very easy to achieve point number 3, because points 1 and 2 are really going to help you to engineer exactly what it's going to take in order to get you from where you are now to that longer term goal that you're envisioning for yourself. But I think probably the biggest impact of point number 3 on my life was the ability to show myself that I was capable of so much more than I thought. I do genuinely believe that people are capable of a lot more than what they think they are. I certainly never thought that I would achieve some of the things that I have, and it's taken a long time, but slowly I've chipped away at it, and I've proven to myself numerous times now that I am capable of achieving something if I really do set my mind to it and get myself geared up for it. And to realize that level of confidence within yourself and to back yourself to that level, it's life-changing. And point number 4 of how to turn your life around in 2026 is to have some hobbies and things that you do just for your own enjoyment. In some ways, this is almost like point number 2, looking after yourself. And when I think back to my life and what I was like back then, yes, I was suffering a fair amount mentally, and that made things very difficult. But I think about the fact that I didn't even really do anything socially. And looking back now, I just think that was so bad for me, because at a baseline, I felt like I was punishing myself because I wasn't where I wanted to be and I wasn't really getting anywhere. So I was kind of punishing myself by thinking, okay, well, I'm not going to go out, I'm not going to do anything, I'm just going to try and figure this out. And I guess I can have no regrets or complaints, because ultimately it's brought me to where I am today. But if I could go back and, give myself some advice when I was going through all of that, I would say, look, you still need to be proactive about looking after yourself. Maybe you're not where you want to be right now, but that does not mean you should be punishing yourself, and it does mean you should suffer to the point of, you're not really seeing your friends or doing anything social. You need to have things within your routine that are solely for enjoyment and nothing else. And if they're tied to your goals, then great. To give you an example, one thing that I did for myself this year was really get started with paddle, which is a new sport. I've started a new sport at the age of, I'm 34 now, but I started when I was 33. And yes, I have started playing competitively. I'm not very good right now, but I have a coach and I'm really striving to be better with it. But I guess the reason I really wanted to take up paddle was because I just got so much enjoyment out of it. Yes, I'm desperately competitive and I hate it when I lose and I hate it when I don't perform well. But the longer term goal for me is to play at a high standard. And to me, that is a hobby now. That is a hobby, and really challenging myself to be competitive. That's something that I genuinely get a kick out of. For you, it could be something else. Maybe there's a sport that you've always wanted to try, you've just wanted to give it a go. Maybe you're in a position where you're not really doing anything with your friends or doing anything social. Let this be your sign. In 2026, I want you to do something for yourself just for your enjoyment. Whether you reach out to your friends and maybe start doing a games night every month or something like that, or if you take up a new activity or a new sport, either solo or with your friends, it doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to have something that you do just for you and your own enjoyment. As the years have gone on, I've found myself really wanting to kind of introduce more and more and more of that into my own schedule, because it really does bring so much balance into your life. And when you have something in your calendar that you you know you're really gonna look forward to, and you work all the way up until it, and you keep your head down, you get on with things until that event, and then you just have the best time. It's amazing. The effects it will have on you mentally in terms of, you know, just like keeping yourself refreshed and invigorated. Because remember, at the core, human beings are social creatures. We need interaction, and it helps if that interaction was with like-minded people doing, you know, like-minded interests. So do something for yourself. I promise you will not regret it. So your roadmap for transforming your life in 2026: number 1, have a plan. Number 2, look after yourself. Number 3, have something bigger that you're working towards. And number 4, have hobbies. Do something for you and your own enjoyment only. I don't know what your situation is right now. I don't know what you're going through, but what I do know and what I've learned over time is that life happens for us, not to us. So make sure that if you're stuck in a hard place, that you're really spending some time thinking about it, thinking about what this time is teaching you, thinking about the characteristics, what's needed from you in order to get through it. Formulate a plan that you can act upon in order to get yourself out of that position. Step up to that challenge of improving yourself. Look after yourself, back yourself to do it. And during that process, have something bigger to aim for, to strive towards, something you can actively work towards day by day. And of course, along the way, make sure that you smile and enjoy yourself. Make sure that you have things that you do just for yourself, and you know, you're keeping yourself refreshed. You're seeing your friends, you're doing things that make you feel good. And I promise, guys, a lot can happen in 1 year. So I do hope at least one of these points resonated with you and you can take it away and make it your own. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this video. I'd like to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful that you chose to spend a few minutes with me when you could have been doing literally anything else. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram. That is going to be in the description box below. And keep an eye on my shorts. I tend to post on Instagram and shorts a lot more frequently than longer form content on YouTube. So if you need some filler content in between these uploads, you know where to go. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you again for 100 subscribers. The next goal is 250, so I'd really appreciate your support in helping me get there. Have an amazing week ahead, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.